Ultron is one of the greatest threats that the Avengers have ever faced, and was definitely the greatest threat that the Avengers had ever created. Kinda a big whoops with that one. Swing and a miss, Tony. When Ultron managed to grab the Infinity Stones, oh wow, the whole thing changes then. But I guess the question is, how can Ultron do against another insanely powerful villain? Another true world conqueror? A guy like Darkseid? And so who's going to come out on top here? Darkseid or Ultron? Let's get into it. But before we get into it, we'll make sure you go subscribe. Only about 20% of y'all are subscribed, so make sure you go change that. Hit the subscribe button, turn notifications. Helps us out a ton. And plus, you get to see awesome videos every single day. And if you already are subscribed, well, y'all are amazing. Y'all are just crushing life. So just keep on killing it. Now, let's get into it. And along came Darkseid. Lord Darkseid, tyrant of Apocalypse, strongest of the new gods. And someone who has like a grand total of 5 minutes of screen time. So we don't have like the clearest gauge on just how powerful Darkseid is. But still at the same time, we know that he's pretty powerful. He created a massive crater on the ground. By swinging his big old war staff around, he can send people just flying, fight against Green Lantern, even fight against Zeus himself, a literal god king. Then there's the big one. He crushed Steppenwolf's head under his foot. Steppenwolf is a threat to Wonder Woman, a threat to Aquaman, a threat to most of the Justice League combined. Not really a threat to Superman, but God, who is at this point? And then Darkseid comes in and just quite literally crushed his head under his heel. You gotta be pretty strong in order to do that. Just like you gotta be pretty freaking strong to have somebody like Steppenwolf serving you in the first place. He was durable enough to take attacks from Green Lanterns, take attacks from gods like Artemis and Poseidon. But there's a clear limit to his durability, at least for the last time that we saw him, as Ares and Zeus were really able to mess him up, seriously hurt him, and send him packing. But I mean, let's put that a little bit into perspective here. I mean, Zeus easily separated 3 mother boxes, something that Superman was struggling to do. Zeus easily did it. So getting hurt by Zeus isn't like the worst thing in the world. But this is actually the biggest knock against Darkseid here. We just haven't seen much from him. We know that young Darkseid is around the same level as Steppenwolf and Doomsday. Zack Snyder himself said that much. But as to how much more powerful Darkseid is now, absolutely no clue. But we do know how strong Ultron is. Now here's the question. What if Ultron won? That's the question that's posed in this universe. Man, let me just tell you, it's a pretty good thing the Avengers beat Ultron in our universe, because it does not go well if he wins. Doesn't go well at all. He's able to tap into the nuclear codes, unleash a nuclear winter, and leave Hawkeye and Black Widow as the only 2 humans left on Earth. Then literally just minutes later, Thanos shows up trying to collect the last Infinity Stone. Ultron doesn't even hesitate, kills him instantly, and takes all 6 stones for himself. Not a great look for Thanos, or Vision, because I guess he could have done this too, but an amazing look for Ultron. He then went on to wipe out all life across the universe, leave nothing but glorious, deafening silence across the cosmos. So with Ultron, there's really no telling how powerful he truly is, but sometimes it does seem like he's purposely holding back, toying with his prey, like a cat playing with a mouse. And that didn't really work out too well for him in the end, but we'll get to that. So he was able to overpower Captain Marvel while they were fighting in the middle of a planet, beat up on Thor and take his attacks absolutely no problem. And even though he might have fought against the likes of Captain Carter and Killmonger and Black Widow, that's not really great when you're sending him out to fight Darkseid. Ultron was never really fighting against those guys. He was really fighting against Doctor Strange, Strange Supreme. It was essentially a fight between just the two of them. Strange was kind of fighting through everybody else, almost using them as proxies. Basically, what I'm saying is don't get too hung up on Ultron losing to Black Widow and an Arrow. Who he was really losing to was one of the most powerful versions of Doctor Strange we've ever seen. Doctor Strange, who can literally swallow galaxy destroying attacks whole. Probably got some bad indigestion along with it. So, back to my original question. What can Ultron do here? Well, he can destroy Asgard in a single blast. He can destroy planets, destroy a whole solar system with an energy wave. In that galaxy ending attack that Strange swallowed, well, Ultron was the guy who sent that out. Then another time, where Ultron himself grew to the size of a galaxy and then ate it. What is with these guys and eating stuff? It's honestly kinda weird. He fought against the Watcher with their fight, launching them through universe after universe after universe, shattering the fabric of time and space and reality with each punch that they threw out. And oh yeah, with the 6 Infinity Stones, Ultron can control time, space, and reality, along with power, minds, and souls. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. And he is easily beating this version of Darkseid from the DCEU. I mean, Ultron is destroying planets, destroying galaxies, destroying whole realities. Darkseid did what? Destroy a head? Ultron got his arm torn off by Thor, regenerated that thing in the blink of an eye. Darkseid got hit with an axe and ran away crying like a baby. These two guys are not the same. So what about some stiffer competition? What about Darkseid from the comics? Well, Darkseid in the comics is really similar to Darkseid in the DCEU. The new god of apocalypse is a ruthless ruler who's focused solely on achieving complete domination. And so he'll use his army of parademons to just completely pillage the known universe, conquering planets and terraforming them to look like his homeworld of Apocalypse. He's fought against Superman, fought against the Justice League, fought against the Anti-Monitor, was killed by Batman, was even transformed back into a baby. But here's the thing. Well, all these things definitely did happen to him. At the same time, they kind of didn't. This Darkseid, the one that we all know and love, is the Darkseid from Prime Earth. And while insanely powerful, it's just a small fragment of his true form, of the true Darkseid. So that means that this guy who can conquer planets on one hand and lose to Superman and trip down some stairs on the other, well, it's just one of Darkseid's many forms. In the Multiversity Guidebook, the Highfather, also a new god and Darkseid's brother, states that each reality, past, present, and future, has its own version of Darkseid. This means that Darkseid is actually an omnipresent, non-corporeal being who's fragmented in order so that he can be present in every possible reality. Now, as far as we know, only actual multiversal deities, like the Presence in DC and the one above all in Marvel, then Dr. Manhattan, have these abilities, which will put Darkseid, his true form, very high on the list of the most powerful beings in the history of comics. In Final Crisis, Darkseid is said to be able to cast a gigantic shadow above the whole multiverse, proving that he transcends all of reality in existence, and not just the different realities we've often seen him in. The Flash said that Darkseid falling, just him falling, is so dangerous that he would take the whole multiverse down with him. Darkseid falling would cause the destruction of existence. On top of that, he was able to create a singularity so powerful that it was swallowing up the multiverse itself. So Infinity Ultron can control reality, can control time, can control space, can shatter the very fabric of time and space and reality with a punch. That's great. Still nothing compared to Darkseid. He straight up transcends those things. It's just simply above it. Nothing that Infinity Ultron can do can mess up Darkseid in a true, lasting way. While Darkseid can just straight blink Ultron out of existence. Ultron might be powerful, but he's definitely bit off more than he can chew with facing down the true Darkseid here. Darkseid wins.